When most people think of Latin America, they think of danger, cartels, chaos, and corruption. But the truth is, a lot of that fear is outdated or completely wrong. Some of the safest, most peaceful cities in the region are places you probably haven't even heard of. There are cities right now in Latin America where you can walk at night, live well on a budget, and actually feel safer than you would in many parts of the US or Europe. This is based on actual data from crime indexes, expat surveys, and real people who live there full time. Let's dig into these cities. City 1. Montevideo in Uruguay is one of the safest capitals in Latin America. The city has low violent crime, good healthcare, and a stable government that doesn't fall apart every few years. Uruguay is one of the most democratic countries in the region. Corruption levels are low, the rule of law is strong, and people genuinely trust their public institutions. The streets are clean, the traffic isn't crazy, and the police aren't something to be afraid of. You get decent public transport, walkable neighborhoods, and long coastal paths that are safe even in the evening. Montevideo's healthcare system is a mix of public and private, and both are reliable. You can join a private health plan for less than what most people pay for insurance in the States. Expats love how stable life feels here. It's calm, not boring. It's secure, not strict. You get peace without having to live in a remote cabin or deal with slow internet. City 2. Viña del Mar in Chile might not be as famous as Santiago, but it's much safer and more relaxed. It's a coastal city that blends modern living with peaceful surroundings. You've got palm trees, clean streets, and locals who take pride in keeping the city in good shape. Public services work. Power doesn't just cut off randomly. Water is clean. There are plenty of hospitals and clinics, and Chile's healthcare system is ranked among the best in South America. Expats say Viña del Mar feels like a quiet European beach town, but with Latin American flavor and much better prices. Crime exists, but it's not violent, and it's mostly limited to occasional pickpocketing in busy areas. But walk down the main streets, go out for coffee, or take a bus, and you'll see that this place feels safe in real life, not just on paper. City 3. Boquete in Panama isn't a city. It's a mountain town, but it's one of the most popular expat spots in Central America. And for good reason. Boquete has clean air, year-round spring weather, and a huge community of expats from the US, Canada, and Europe. You'll find people gardening, hiking, and having coffee with views of the mountains. The town is small, which helps keep crime low. People know each other. You don't hear about violent crime here. There are local police, but they aren't dealing with much. Healthcare in Boquete is simple but affordable. And if you need something more serious, the city of David is about 45 minutes away with modern hospitals. What makes Boquete stand out is how normal life feels. You don't feel like a tourist, you feel like a neighbor. Also, Panama's retirement visa is one of the best in the world. If you qualify, you get discounts on travel, healthcare, and even restaurants. For older expats looking for peace and value, it's hard to beat. City 4. San Ramon in Costa Rica is another underrated gem. It's not on the beach, and it's not in the capital, which is exactly why people love it. It's in the hills, where the air is cool and the pace of life is slow. This town feels like what Costa Rica used to be before the tourism boom. No flashy resorts, no loud tour groups, just locals and expats living side by side. Crime here is low. You can walk your dog, go to the store, or have dinner out without worry. Costa Rica doesn't even have an army. It's one of the few countries in the world that has completely gotten rid of it. Instead, the focus is on education, healthcare, and protecting the environment. Expats in San Ramon often say they feel completely at ease. The local public healthcare system, known as Caja, is available to legal residents and costs much less than private insurance. And if you prefer private care, it's still affordable and high quality. People here look out for each other, and life just feels balanced. City 5. Now let's talk about Salta in Argentina. You've probably never heard of it, but it's one of the safest cities in the country. While Buenos Aires is struggling with protests, inflation, and growing crime, Salta is doing its own thing quietly. It's in the northwest, surrounded by mountains and filled with colonial architecture. The streets are walkable, the plazas are full of life, and locals are proud of their city's history and culture. It's not full of tourists, and it hasn't been taken over by chain stores. It's real Argentina, with good food, traditional music, and strong family values. Crime here is mostly non-violent, and the city feels much more relaxed than bigger urban areas. Expats who settle in Salta say it's affordable, friendly, and very livable. You can rent a decent apartment, eat well, and have a social life on a small budget. The public healthcare system is free, and the private clinics charge a fraction of what they would elsewhere. City 6. Cuenca in Ecuador has been one of the top expat cities in Latin America for years. It's easy to see why. The cost of living is low, the weather is mild, and the city is beautiful. You've got cobblestone streets, river walks, and cafes everywhere. Cuenca is very walkable, which makes a big difference if you don't want to deal with cars all the time. Safety-wise, it's one of the best places in Ecuador. You'll see families out at night, kids playing in the park, and older folks walking home from dinner. Violent crime is rare. The city also has a strong expat community, which helps with support and local knowledge. Healthcare is solid, both public and private, and prices are low compared to North America. Ecuador now has a digital nomad visa, which makes it easier for remote workers to stay legally and get access to services. Internet is fast, prices are fair, and the community is welcoming. Cuenca has a slow pace, but not in a boring way. Life feels full, but without the stress. Now let's pull all this together. If safety is your top concern, these cities aren't just okay, they're ahead of the curve. Montevideo is organized, clean, and well-governed. Viña del Mar is calm and practical, with great infrastructure. Boquete is relaxed, peaceful, and full of friendly neighbors. San Ramon is small-town Costa Rica at its best, quiet and close-knit. Salta gives you a real local experience, away from tourist noise, with strong community pride. Cuenca combines beauty, safety, and affordability in a package that works for all kinds of people. They're not perfect, no place is, but they offer something that's becoming rare in big cities around the world. They offer peace without isolation, safety without fences, and affordability without having to give up good healthcare, reliable utilities, or human connection. These aren't gated bubbles or luxury compounds. These are real cities and towns where people live full lives, raise families, build routines, and go for long walks without looking over their shoulders. If you talk to expats who've made the move, they'll tell you the same thing. Life feels easier, not perfect, but definitely easier. And that matters, because when you're choosing where to live or spend your time, you want more than just a cheap apartment or nice weather. You want to feel safe. You want to feel like you belong. You want a place where the news doesn't stress you out every day, and where your neighbors still say good morning. That's what these places offer. And it's why more people every year are leaving behind the chaos and noise and starting fresh in these quiet corners of Latin America. Which one of these cities would actually work for your lifestyle? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.